This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview. Joining us today is Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals. And Darren, you're joining us from Thunder Bay in Canada, aren't you?
I certainly am, Mark, and it's a sunny, warm Thunder Bay.
A sunny, warm Thunder Bay. Okay, so what are you doing out there, Darren? I guess you are visiting the site. What projects are you going to be looking at?
Yeah, we're here to arrange and sort out logistics on Obonga over the coming months and how we're going to deliver that. And also, we are working with Sheer Gold on starting the program on the Manitou Lakes project area. So it's all about meetings, logistics, just putting together the final pieces to enable us to kick off a really exciting stage in the business's history, I guess you would say.
Okay. So when you say logistics then, so you're not actually planning drilling exploration or plans to explore. When you say logistics, what are you talking about in terms of accessing the site, getting drill rigs and etc.?
Yeah, but no, it is about drilling. So as we've previously said, we've now got 5 targets, 5 different geological anomalies, including Wishbone, that we are going to be drilling over the coming months. And the terrain at Obonga is challenging, and that's largely due to access. Mm-hmm. But that's also what's providing the opportunity for us, Mark, and that's always been the case. You know, you've had BHP in there previously, you've had the Chinese, Canadians, and they've all had a look at Obonga, and that they've universally come back with very interesting results. Mm-hmm. But they've also universally not gone back, and the reason there is simply down to the terrain as opposed to the geology. Okay. In almost every case, that they haven't hit the jackpot with their first couple of holes, and they've decided to go away and look for lower hanging fruit elsewhere. And that is the thing. Why do people keep coming back to Obonga? Well, everyone who's been to Obonga knows that it contains the perfect ingredients to create a major mining company. And I guess the question would be, why is Panther there? Well, it's there because we know that we could create a major business from Obonga, on the back of Obonga. But we've got an amazing geological team, and our geological team just loves the place. Mm-hmm. And we know that we can overcome those challenges. And with reviewing Obonga, it's not about the geology. It's about being able to be adaptable to get over the challenges that come with the location, and that will provide the keys to Obonga. And we now know that we've got those keys. And what we'll be doing, we'll be instigating a program that will be quite unique in the exploration space, certainly in the London market, where we're going to be drilling a target. We will then cut trails through. We'll then drill the next target. We'll cut trails through Obonga to the next target, and we'll cut trails through, etc. So we've got a rolling program. And should we get a discovery behind us on those, we'll then bring in a team to start drilling out that discovery whilst we continue our exploration. I've said on multiple occasions that we believe that Obonga has the potential not to just hold one discovery, to hold multiple discoveries. And we've kind of started that, proved that theory almost in the autumn with Wishbone. We hit one of the biggest intercepts of massive sulfide, contiguous intercepts of massive sulfide in the world last year. It wasn't mineralized, but it proved the existence of VMS. And we also know that due to the geological makeup, the geochemistry of the rocks, we know where we sat within that system. So we're we have every confidence that Wishbone will provide that discovery. We've got the anomalous coppers, but we've got other targets. And by putting the trails in and connecting the different drill targets, it's actually going to provide the roadway that opens up the whole of the Obonga Greenstone Belt. And we'll be the first ever company to do that. And we know how we're going to do that. And we've just got to put those final bits in place. And that's exactly why we're here this week. And then you're going to get one of the most exciting drill programs conducted for a long, long time. You know, we're not looking at one target. We've got multiple, and more of that information will come out over time.
Okay. So considering the companies that have been there before and exploring, and they keep going back, as you say, and you sound very confident on the area, on the prospect, and making that discovery, it sounds like you're going one step further than previous companies and actually establishing a footprint there, you know, as you're opening up the Greenstone Belt. Why do you think you've got this sorted? You know, you're clearly spending a lot of time on logistics, going out there and looking at it. What are you doing, do you think, differently to make sure you've got the logistics and this access nailed down?
Well, I do wonder if that's more representative of my background, because I've spent my entire career effectively dealing in logistics. It's dealing in the movement of people and goods, and being able to nail that. And that's quite unique in an exploration company in this day and age, that my background isn't the same as others. We've got a stunning geological team. We've also got somebody that's come from a different background, so you've had to find ways of getting over issues. And to give you a prime example here, we've already been up to Armstrong. We've sorted out a location where we can supply directly from Thunder Bay by road. We have the float plane companies in place now so that they can supply our teams on the ground. So the teams on the ground on Obonga, they can live in the camps. We can supply them by float plane as opposed to helicopter. Our only requirement for helicopter will be to move drill rigs. And a helicopter is more weather dependent than any other form of transport. And if you're taking teams in and out, then you have the potential for delays and for slower progress. So I wanted to alleviate that from our program in Obonga, so that once we go, we really are off. And we've been able to do that. We've now identified the landing zones for the float planes. We'll start our camps from there. And that happens to be Paddon Lake, which is right next to Awkward, which will also be the first location we'll drill. And Awkward is just the most stunning geological target. It's so reminiscent of Lac des Hills mine, which is 80 kilometres south. It offers almost a direct correlation in signature terms in geology. And the anomalous platinum palladium surface, and around that area as well, you've got high grade nickel and copper. So that's Awkward is effectively, we believe, a conduit to the Awkward batholith, and that's what you would have found at Lac des Hills, which has been operating successfully since the early 90s and was sold for pushing $1 billion Canadian in 2019, I believe. So it's a great place to start. And if we get discovery, we will continue our exploration program. This is going to roll for 12 to 18 months, and we'll bring in teams to then look at extending the resource on any discovery we make, whilst we continue to explore Obonga and go for that multiple discovery outlook.
Okay, excellent. Well, just give me a quick idea on what your plans are over today. It's the morning for you, and tomorrow. What you meeting people and lots of discussions taking place. And what's your sort of schedule looking like?
Yeah, it's going to be a packed schedule. Today we start meetings at 9:30, and I wouldn't expect to conclude until this evening, probably 9 o'clock tonight. And every single one of those today is in relation to the logistics of Obonga and making sure that we've nailed everything down and that we've got the people in place that can support the programs that this area warrants. And then tomorrow, a good example, again, we actually start at 9:30, but that's down at our warehouse in Thunder Bay. What we're doing with the warehouse there, Again, this is to allow us to get the core out of Obonga straight back to Thunder Bay, and then we can deal with it from Thunder Bay. So everything for Panther Metals is going to have a central point in Thunder Bay when that is the warehouse. And we're building a core inspection facility with core cutting and core storage. But also it'll be the heart of Panther Metals in Canada, so that we can get these operations done and we can store goods, and it makes everything a lot simpler for all parties concerned.
Okay, well, Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals, thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a pleasant rest of your trip, and we'll catch up again in the not too distant future.